Assalam alaykum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, chers frères et sœurs en Islam. Every morning, Allah grants us a new page to write in the book of our destiny. The moment of Fajr is not an ordinary moment, it is an open door to the divine light. It is the time when sincere hearts are heard, when invocations rise to the heavens, when barakah gently descends on those who rise to pray. Have you ever felt that unique peace right after Fajr? That feeling as if the whole world stops so that your heart can speak to Allah without barriers? Have you ever looked for a verse that can transform your day or even your life? It can protect you from evil, open closed doors, and bring blessings upon you and your descendants? Why do some verses, when recited with sincere faith, seem to change destinies? In this video, you will discover a powerful Quranic versetto recite 11 times after Fajr prayer, a spiritual key that has transformed the lives of many believers. It is not a magic word, but a promise of Allah Himself. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Qur'an 13:28. If you feel this message speaks to you, subscribe, like, share, and let this light touch other hearts. This video is not a coincidence. It is a light sent by Allah for you. 1. The spiritual blessing of Fajr time. There are moments in a day that seem suspended between heaven and earth, as if the entire world were holding its breath. Fajr is one of these moments. When night slowly fades and the timid light of dawn begins to pierce the darkness, something sacred settles upon awakened souls. The air is pure, the streets silent, the heart more receptive. At this hour, angels descend and bear witness to the invocations, the quiet tears, and the murmurs of faith of the believers. Nothing is purer than these words spoken before sunrise, for they are not drowned in the tumult of the world. They are confidences between the soul and its Creator. This moment is not only a spiritual hour, it is a door of light, an invisible key that unlocks the hidden blessings of the day. The Prophet Muhammad taught that barakah lies in the beginnings, and this is no coincidence. At Fajr, hearts are light, minds more open, and intentions purer. When you recite a verse from the Qur'an at this time, it is not just a reading. It is as if each word is etched into your destiny to bring you protection and guidance throughout the day. The sacred letters mingle with the dawning light, and an indescribable peace settles in the breast of one who remembers Allah at dawn. Imagine a seed in your hands. If you plant it in the middle of the restless night or under the scorching midday sun, it struggles. But if you plant it while the dew still caresses the earth, it finds soft and fertile soil. So it is with the invocations and recitations made at Fajr. They take root more deeply in your heart. They grow gently and are transformed into blessings both seen and unseen. Many believers report transformed days simply because they began their morning with the light of the Qur'an. What seemed like a simple prayer becomes a silent source of strength throughout the hours that follow. This moment is also a mirror. When you rise at dawn, you make a choice. The choice to detach yourself from the comfort of your bed and turn to the one who holds your life and your destiny. This gesture, so discreet in the eyes of the world, is in reality a declaration of love and loyalty to Allah. It is not just a prayer, it is living proof that your faith is stronger than your sleep, that your search for light is more important than your fatigue. Those who experience this unique moment understand a simple truth. Nothing compares to the peace of Fajr. And then there is that serenity that nothing else can offer. This calm is not just external. It settles within the soul like a warm, steady light. Even if the day brings trials, even if challenges arise, something within you remains peaceful, as if the dawn had left a treasure hidden within your breast. This inner stability comes from the closeness you cultivated while the world still slept. The angels witnessed your remembrance, Allah heard your voice, and you drew from a source few dare approach. Fajr is not just a prayer time, it is invitation divine. It is Allah who gently calls His servants. Arise, my servant, while the world sleeps, and come and taste a light that others do not know. Those who respond to this call are enveloped in a protection that surpasses human understanding. Their day is blessed not because it is perfect, but because it begins in the presence. 2. a verse that carries a divine promise. There are verses in the Quran which are not just words, but heavenly oaths, keys capable of opening doors that we thought were forever locked. Among them, this one resonates with particular force. And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and bestow on him His bounty from ways he could not imagine. Qur'an 65, 2-3. This verse is not just a spiritual reading. It is a direct promise from Allah to anyone who trusts in Him. It is an outstretched hand to those who feel stuck, a light to those seeking a way out. Each word carries a vibration, a silent assurance. If you walk with your fear of Allah as your compass, you will never have to fear a dead end. Where the world sees an end, Allah creates a new path. Where everything seems closed, He places a key in the hands of those who believe. When you recite this verse 11 times after Fajr, in the stillness of dawn, it is not a mechanical repetition. It is an act of confident submission. Your lips speak the words, but it is your heart that converses with the Creator. At that precise moment, invisible barriers begin to crack. Solutions you hadn't considered begin to move in a mysterious silence. Perhaps nothing changes outwardly right away, but in the invisible world, a divine movement begins to take place. This verse is not just about wealth or material means. It is about miraculous outcomes, of help that comes without warning, of a shower of blessings that exceeds your own imagination. How many believers have seen doors open after placing their trust in these words? How many have found peace in times of crisis simply by reciting this verse with faith and patience? This is not a magic formula. It is a soul-to-soul dialogue between the servant and his Lord. Allah promises here something no human being can, a certain outcome, but not necessarily a visible one. Therein lies the beauty of this divine word. Sometimes the outcome doesn't come in the form you expect. It can manifest as an inspired idea, a providential encounter, an opportunity that presents itself at the perfect moment. It can even be a new inner strength that helps you overcome what you thought was insurmountable. Allah is not limited by human means. He is the master of the unexpected. To recite this verse at dawn is to place one's worries in the hands of a Lord who never disappoints. It is to say silently, "O Allah, I do not see the path, but you see it. Open it for me." And Allah, in His perfect promise, responds to those who call upon Him with sincerity. This is how lives are quietly transformed, without fanfare, without noise, but with a profound gentleness. This verse becomes invisible armor. Where others panic in the face of blockages, the one who meditates on it stands with confidence, for he knows that Allah has already laid out a way out before the problem even exists. Each recitation is a declaration of faith, a way of saying, "I choose confidence over fear." And whoever makes this choice attracts mercy like a beneficial rain. When you recite it 11 times after Fajr, in that fragile yet powerful light, it is as if you are sealing your day in Allah's protection. The outside world may seem unchanged, but in the unseen, doors open and blessings are set in motion. For Allah never forgets those who come to Him in quiet moments with open hearts and empty hands. 3. The secret of repeated recitation. There is a mysterious power in the repetition of divine words that few hearts truly understand. Repeating a verse is not a simple mechanical action. It is a spiritual dive, a slow and deep immersion in the light of Allah. When you recite a verse 11 times after Fajr, you are not uttering words. You are making your soul vibrate to the rhythm of divine remembrance. Each repetition becomes a silent wave which crosses the barriers of the invisible and strengthens your faith as one strengthens the foundations of a building. This number of 11 recitations is not arbitrary. It creates a cadence, a spiritual breathing, which allows your heart to open more widely to the presence of Allah. Imagine yourself at daybreak. While the world is still asleep, the sky slowly lights up and your heart rises in peace. With each recitation, you ask a light brick around your soul. This light becomes an invisible fortress. Nothing is seen outside, but in the spiritual world, your heart is enveloped in a wall of serenity and protection. This moment belongs only to you and to Allah. It is not a word thrown into the void. It is an intimate conversation between the Creator and His creature. In silence, your tongue speaks, but it is your soul that listens and speaks. You have to understand one thing. The more lovingly you recite, the deeper each word penetrates your consciousness. It is not the speed that matters, but the inner presence. Some recite quickly and feel nothing. Others recite slowly, with burning faith, and see their world transformed. Each word then becomes like a drop of water on arid land, awakening in you confidence, hope, and light. This repetition teaches you constancy, spiritual discipline, and the love of Allah in its purest form. Repeating a verse 11 times is also teach your heart to no longer doubt. At first, you pronounce with your mouth. Then, through repetition, your heart takes over. Your mind aligns with this divine truth, and you feel an inner warmth, a gentle certainty that replaces worries. It is as if, with each recitation, Allah whispers to you, I am here. Do not be afraid. And in these heavenly whispers, the heart finds a peace that nothing in this world can offer. This morning ritual, performed with sincerity, attracts blessings both visible and invisible. What you cannot see, Allah is already preparing for you. Paths open, difficulties are resolved, protections are put in place. Sometimes it is not the situation that changes immediately, but your gaze becomes brighter, your faith stronger, your serenity deeper. Repeated recitation acts as a spiritual anchor which stabilizes your soul against the waves of life. And the more you recite with love and certainty, the more you feel the presence of Allah in every beat of your heart. This moment becomes an intimate conversation, a silent refuge in a hectic world. There is no mask or burden, just you and your Lord, bound by eternal words. These 11 recitations are not a mere practice, they are a door to the invisible, a way of saying to Allah every morning, I believe in you even when I see nothing yet. And to this silent faith, Allah always responds in one way or another. 4. Protection and good luck for your descendants. There are moments in a day that, when honored with sincerity, leave a greater imprint than years of effort. The moment of Fajr is one of these sacred moments. When you recite a verse with faith at this precise moment, you are not only elevating your own soul, you are sow a light that will touch those who come after you. In the spiritual world, nothing is lost. Every invocation made in secret, every word of the Qur'an spoken with love, becomes a seed that will bear fruit for your descendants. Think of these blessings as a subtle fragrance that permeates your home. When you invoke Allah at dawn, the walls of your home become witnesses to your worship, and the angels gather there. This spiritual fragrance remains long after the words have fallen silent. It envelops your family in silent protection, repels negative energies, and attracts Allah's blessings like a magnet attracts light. What you do today in the stillness of the morning nourishes the peace of tomorrow for those you love. Allah, in His mercy, does not grant blessings only to the one who calls upon Him, but to a whole household. How many families have been protected and honored not because of their own merit, but because of the prayers of a godly parent? This is a powerful spiritual reality. The invocations made at dawn are invisible yet indestructible legacies. They are like soft armor placed on the shoulders of your children before they even walk in the world. This is not only protection from visible trials, but also from silent storms that only Allah perceives. When you recite this verse 11 times with confidence, you place your lineage under the guard of Allah, and no human protection can equal that. Your children, even if they do not yet understand the value of these moments, will benefit from this light. They will walk in paths that your faith has paved for them. Sometimes they will escape misfortunes that they will never see because one morning you called with faith. There is a particular beauty in the fact that barakah is transmitted as a pure water flowing from a spring. It flows silently through the generations, irrigating hearts, opening doors, inspiring righteous choices. Spiritual blessings do not age. They anchor themselves in the lineage like a powerful root that protects even in storms. A quiet act today can become the light that will guide your children and grandchildren long after you. Starting the day with the Qur'an is give your family more than a material inheritance. It is to offer them an invisible roof that neither time, nor trials, nor enemies can destroy. It is a protection that eyes do not see, but that angels honor. In this unstable world, this morning light becomes a shelter for your descendants, a blessed trace in their destiny. And Allah, in His perfect justice, forgets none of those moments when a heart turned to Him at dawn, not only for Himself, but for all who will bear His name. 5. The power of silence and consistency. There is a power in silence that few people perceive. This silence of the morning, just after Fajr, is a haven of peace from which sincere hearts draw an energy that nothing in the world can offer. When you sit in this still, soft light and recite the verse of Allah, you do not need to tell the world about it. Your silent constancy already speaks for you in the language that only the angels hear. The power of this practice lies not in the spectacular, but in the loyalty of the heart at each dawn, in this humble regularity which weaves invisible but indestructible blessings. Human beings often seek quick results, visible signs, immediate answers. But true blessing works differently. It is like that morning light. It begins gently, almost imperceptibly. Then it grows until it floods the entire horizon. Every morning that you persist in your recitation, even if no one sees it, the sky sees you. The angels note your name, and the gates of blessing slowly but surely open. Consistency in good is more powerful than 1,000 isolated actions, for it builds a stable foundation upon which Allah showers His mercy. The silence here is not an absence, it is intense inner presence. When you recite quietly, without noise, your heart becomes more deeply rooted in faith. The whispers of your tongue become bursts of light that rise to the sky. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. The love of Allah is nourished by hidden sincerity, not by the applause of men. This discretion is a shield. It protects your faith from pride, envy, and dispersion. It keeps your connection with Allah pure and clear. And it is in humble repetition, in daily discipline, that silent miracles manifest themselves. It is not necessarily through spectacular changes, but through subtle transformations, a deeper inner peace, strength in the face of trials, clarity in decisions, a light in your home. Your soul becomes more stable, your heart more peaceful. Blessings don't always come in bursts. They settle gently, like a fine rain that makes the earth fertile. Those who persist in the simple moments are often those who reap the greatest rewards. Consistency elevates you to a dimension where the fluctuations of this world no longer affect you. You become like a lamp lit before dawn, quiet yet steady, silently illuminating those around you. What you build each morning in this silence is a light that neither time nor storms can extinguish. So, don't look for speed, look for closeness to Allah. For those who remain faithful in secret, see their lives transformed in depth, not just in appearance. Stable faith attracts blessings that spread like waves, touching your family, your descendants, and even strangers you will never meet. This morning ritual then becomes much more than a spiritual act. It becomes eternal trace, a breath of light deposited in the world each dawn. Dear brothers and sisters, the power of a single verse recited with faith can surpass years of human effort. Allah has promised unexpected outcomes and gifts to those who place their trust in Him. This time after Fajr is a door of blessing which many neglect. Recite this verse 11 times every morning with a trusting heart, and let Allah write your destiny with His infinite wisdom. Whoever puts his trust in Allah, He is sufficient for him. Qur'an 65:3. Thank you for opening your heart to this word. May Allah grant you a light that never goes out, a peace that endures through hardships, and a blessing that will be passed on to your children and grandchildren. Subscribe to the call of the Qur'an, share this light around you, and be a source of inspiration for other believers. Amen.